Hello, this is Bill with 12 more classics. So my last video with 12 classics is my most popular video so far. So these type of videos are the easiest to make because just showing book covers is easier than trying to talk, because I still haven't learned how to talk yet. So first is the Ramayana, a modern retelling of the great Indian epic by Ramesh Menon. So the original was written from the 7th to 3rd century BCE. I think it was BCE. I don't have that in my notes on the screen here. But this one was 2004, the modern retelling. The Arabian Nights. So this one was from about the year 800. So I think that's when they were written down. Tales were probably spread orally before that. And Beowulf. So this is a translation and commentary by J.R.R. Tolkien. This book also contains Selmic spell, and it's edited by Christopher Tolkien. So Christopher Tolkien's gone through his father's notes and released a lot of books since his father died. So originally I tried reading from this version, but I give up after the first page. But now that I look at it, I probably would have made some sense out of it if I had kept going. Here, the first sentence. Lo, we have heard the glory of the kings of the Spear Danes in days gone by, how the chieftains wrought mighty deeds. Then I got this. I got it just because it was Beowulf and because it was a Penguin classic, but I should have looked up what gloss text meant. And also because the price was good. So on that side it looks like it gets Old English. Then on this side you have the Old English in bold with modern word translation. So if you want to read this, you'll have to just skip over the bold words. So here, skipping over the bold words for the first sentence. What spear Danes, days of yore, king of a people, power here of how, prince hero, deeds of valor accomplish, often enemy troop. So reading this would be much worse than reading this one. So hopefully this one will work out good. If I can find the first sentence here. Lo, the glory of the kings of the people of the Spear Danes. In days of old we have heard tell how those princes did deeds of valor. So that was from around year 900. There's the Tale of Genji by Murasaki Shikibu. I don't know my Japanese very well. Like, not at all. This book has lots of illustrations. Steve Donoghue likes talking about this book. And it's got these ugly edges that everybody likes. So I ended up with this edition of Tale of Genji and this edition of the Arabian Nights, because they were used in a online course at edX. I was watching the lectures, but that was about 5 years ago, and I still haven't done the homework of reading the books. So the course at edX was called Masterpieces of World Literature. So there was a section on Goethe and the birth of world literature, and the Epic of Gilgamesh, and Homer and Odyssey, and the 1001 Nights, and the Tale of Genji. So I watched the lectures in these first few sections. But I didn't watch the Luciads or Candida, and then the rest of this seems changed since I was watching the lectures. Like there was a section on Beloved by Toni Morrison, in a previous edition. So here sometimes for the lectures he films a lecture on location. So I'll skip ahead here.
Typical site where we are standing is that it's a little bit disappointing.
And then sometimes the lectures are like a discussion.
In many ways, it's the novel we've been talking on and off about.
So if you're interested, go to edx.com and check it out. So the Tale of Genji was from year 1001. And then the Saga of the Icelanders, which is from 1200. So I don't know what that means. Is that when they were first put together in one volume, or that's sort of the date of the last one? I think the tales that existed a while before they were written down. And another one of these Penguin Deluxe books with the ugly edges. And the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. So this is a retelling by Peter Ackroyd. So the Canterbury Tales was from 1400. So this Penguin Deluxe edition has cartoons on the flaps. History of the Conquest of New Spain by Bernal, Díaz del Castillo. So that's from 1568. And Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes. So that's from 1651. So Michael K. Vaughan, his video where he randomly chose penguins to read, this is one that came up. And some of these are in book time with Elvis and his classic video. So I think he also had this one, The Story of the Stone by Xuequin. So this is 5 volumes from 1791. So they have interesting artwork on the cover. That's 1791. So I'm looking at my notes on the screen here. That last time I had my notes on paper, and reading the notes, what I read in the notes didn't always match with the book I was holding up. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. So I've read this one before, but I want to reread it. It's a 1 month read. It's probably 1,000 pages. 1,200. $1,243. That's from 1844. So now for some modern books. The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann from 1924. And In Search of Lost Time by Marcel Proust. So I think this is in 7 volumes, but I only have the first volume so far. And I got this version because the price was right. I was originally thinking of getting the vintage classics version because I heard somewhere that that was the best translator. I don't remember the translator's name now. This one was translated by Lydia Davis. So that's all for this video. See you in the next one.